Hello guys, I just finished watching episode 1 of What Comes After Love, so I'm going to be doing episode recaps for each individual episode. Right now, 2 episodes have been released, so I'll be doing recaps for each episode. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'm just going to tell you what I think about the drama so far and if it's worth checking out depending on your own personal preferences. So What Comes After Love is basically so far about a romance kind of gone wrong. It starts off really cute and really sweet. A Korean student moves to Japan to just kind of live free after she graduates and start a graduate program in literature. And she meets a literature major as well. They meet while she's traveling in Tokyo, and then after that they keep meeting. So it seems like it's like a faded romance. But we get a voiceover and like a flashback showing that things didn't really work out by the end of episode 1. It's definitely going to be like a melodrama. I sense that there's going to be things that might make me want to cry, but the sweet moments are really, really sweet, and everything is definitely giving a manufactured romance. If I could compare it to anything so far, I would just say I can't right now, but like, if you're okay with things that might make you cry, with a little sweetness, something kind of bittersweet, that's how I would describe this drama so far. Mind you, I've only seen episode 1. Anyway, if that's something you'd want to watch, you can check it out on Viki. It's available now. They're releasing episodes very slowly, so there are currently 2 out, and it's going to finish like in the beginning of October sometime. So now let's get into the episode 1 recap. If you don't want to be spoiled, please leave now. So let's go. Choi Hong, our female lead, cries in the rain. And this is like the present. And then we get a flashback so the story can begin talking about the past. So Choi Hong is flying into Narita International Airport in Japan. Her voiceover talks about her being brave to work towards her dream, and that she was like a naive young woman when she was traveling to Japan for the first time. She had a friend in Japan that was willing to split the rent with her. She wanted to live freely and discover new territory. And then we see her traveling through Tokyo. She struggles to get her luggage through the barrier, and then her future lover helps her, who is Aoki Jungo. So she's traveling through Tokyo. She's struggling to get her luggage through the kind of barrier, and he helps her. Nobody else does, by the way, which I'm not surprised because I've been traveling like that before and have luggage that was really tough, and people don't help you in major cities. It's a thing. Anyway, she then meets her bestie Jihua as the guy helps her with her stuff. Her friends and her are like taking a selfie, and then in the background, like he's having like a huge smile. Like he has a huge smile on his face as they're taking a selfie. We find out that Choi Hong's Japanese is really good because she lived in Tokyo when she was in elementary school for like 5 years. And before even knowing his name, she gets Aoki to take a picture of her and her friend, and he gets them to say kimchi since he knows she is Korean. Choi Hong then gets back to her friend's apartment and they have drinks celebrating Choi Hong's freedom. When she's back in her room, she notices Aoki in the background of one of her selfies, and that's where she sees he's smiling really hard. And she's thinking, why is he smiling so hard? What a freak. She then goes for a run in Inokishira Park while her friend sleeps. She loves to run because she's not stuck in a rut when she's running, and we learn this from her voiceover. Choi Hong will study Japanese for a bit and then continue her graduate master's program in literature. She's then about to take a bus after leaving the university, and Aoki is on the same bus she's about to take. It's like they keep meeting each other. It's like it's completely faded. Also, there's this occasional blur over all the visuals, symbolizing the flashback that we're seeing. Choi also needs to get a job so she can pay her rent, otherwise her mum will have to wire her money, and her mum does not know that she's in Tokyo. Her mum thinks she went to Jeju Island. She struggles to find a part-time sales job, and she walks into places handing in her resume. She finally walks into a record store, but the guys have like headphones like blasting rock music and he can't hear her. So she leaves her resume on the table, goes next door to a cafe, and the cafe are looking for somebody to hire. But Aoki walks in at the same time because he's also looking for a job, and they basically compete to see who should get the job. And they get a little test out. I don't know if they're paid during this test out, that was not mentioned, but Choi basically wins because a guy comes into the restaurant saying that Choi doesn't speak good Japanese, and Aoki defends her, and because he defends her, and like tells the guy to apologize, and the guy gets angry and leaves and doesn't like eat there, he can't get the job basically. So because of his honor, because he's honorable, like he doesn't get the job and she does. It reminded me a little bit of Taylor Rose, except like remove all the toxicity from it if you've seen Taylor Rose. Oh, if only you've seen it, but that's a Chinese drama. But this one was actually kind of cute and sweet and endearing, and I really liked that. We then find out from Jihua about Min Jun, who is going to be our second male lead, who in the flashback, Choi just sees as a friend, and he's Korean. Um, and then her friend encourages her to try to date Aoki because they keep meeting, and she's like, he's really cute, he seems to like you, come on. So then Choi's manager later on sees her staring at Aoki, who now works at a hot dog stall. So he tells her to go get them hot dogs. And all her co-workers are watching from their window, like watching her walk to Aoki, seeing if a romance will blossom. Aoki tells her her head wrap looks good on her, she tells him his apron looks good on him, and then the next morning she's tasked with cleaning the district that the restaurant's in at like 10 a.m. And Aoki's there too, and her co-workers basically had her do it so she could meet Aoki, even though they told her they usually get the newbies to do it. They're actually doing it as like a favour to her. Aoki then plays with her by spreading water on the ground where she's cleaning. She then gets a call from her mum where her mum's like, oh, wait, you're in Tokyo, not Jeju Island. Like, come back to Korea and get a job. Like, why are you playing around? And Aoki listens to the call and everything. And then it starts to rain and they walk. And he has an umbrella. Their height difference is perfection. Like, he's taller than her by like maybe like an inch or two or something, but like, it's beautiful. Like, I just love the height difference. And Aoki says, if you're free after work tonight, do you want to go for a drink? So they go for a drink. She gets drunk. She asks him why he wants to do literature. He says that he's more comfortable expressing his thoughts on paper. And she's like, oh, you want to be a writer? He's like, yeah. She's like, you can totally do it. Then they go to an arcade. And she's like, I want you to trust me that you can do it. So she tries to like get him a toy. She doesn't really win anything major, but little tiny things. And then she then says that, asks him if he believes in everlasting love, and then he's like, I don't really know. And then she's like, yeah. And then after that, she basically like tells him that she runs around Inokashira Park a lot, and then he's like, no way. 5 laps around Inokashira Park is huge. And then she ends up running away. And then after that, the next morning, she leaves her apartment and she runs in Inokashira Park and she sees him and she's like, what are you doing here? Then he's like, oh, you're a little late, which implies that he knows she's been running in Inokashira Park, and because she didn't tell him a time when she was drunk, so I think he's been like stalking her. But it's not really painted as creepy, it's painted as cute, and that's how I'm choosing to interpret it. I don't see it as creepy in this case. Again, not like Taylor Rose where it was creepy. And then we get a voiceover saying, I never experienced anything like that again. Talking about Aoki, talking about the past. He also gets her a toy when he meets her in the park. Like, he's like, oh, I won this for you because, like, I trust you. I trust what you told me the other night about me being able to be a writer and stuff like that. So then we also find out that when they were at the arcade, he gave her the last money in his wallet to get her toy. So he's doing lots of really, really cute stuff and they're not completely tied together. And we get a voiceover again that says she's always wanted to believe in herself, never fate. But as time goes on, she just begins to trust him more and more and more. And then she sees him. You know, when she's like running, she sees him and she like runs from him and then he falls. And then that's when they have the entire conversation about the toy and her being late and stuff like that. And then we get another scene where things have already sped run to romance. So Jungko's at the uni and she runs into him and he's listening to music. She taps him on the shoulder and she hands him a cherry blossom that falls onto him because she just finished class. And then she's back at the restaurant and she's leaving to see Jungko. And they go to the park and she takes a video of the cherry blossom trees as she walks with him. And he asks her what beautiful means in Korean and she tells him, and as she's walking in front of him, he calls her beautiful and she can't obviously hear him. We then have a picnic in the cherry blossom park, and we get a voiceover saying that the beginning and end of my spring, that was the beginning of and end of my spring symphony. I thought the abundance of the universe would have saved me if I was in love, but everyone knows love has an expiry date. But I believe things would be different for me. After I broke up with him, I thought I would destroy myself if I didn't immerse myself into something. If I knew I was going to meet him, I wouldn't have come. But she says that right while she's in Korea working as an editor, right before the end of the episode where she's literally going to meet him at the airport. But she became an editor, and then we meet Minjun, the second male lead, in the present tense. They are basically engaged to be married, practically. Like, everyone's calling him brother-in-law, son-in-law, like, her family loves Minjun, like. And then we get the end of the episode. She's at the airport because she's an editor, and there's a Japanese, like, writer that, like, she needs to be able to speak to because she's the only one in the office that can speak Japanese. And she meets Jungkook at the end of the episode, and they're just staring at each other. And then she repeats, "If I thought he was going to be here, I would not have come." But the thing is, the writer's name is Sansai. Or no, the writer's name is Sansai Ikari. So there's no way she would have known that he was gonna be there. But something very bad happened between them because seeing him triggers her, him seeing her triggers him. I don't know what happened yet because all we see is the sweetness of the first episode, but something went down. Anyway, let me know if you've seen the first episode in the comments below and what you thought about it. I liked it. It was pretty decent. I think they sped one through the romance, but I kind of understand because it only has 6 episodes. They have to make it as compact as possible. Again, let me know in the comments below. If you like my channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.